So another video lecture which I am going to start, and that is your Bell-Coleman cycle. Bell-Coleman cycle, or that is also called as Bell-Coleman cycle, or it is also known as reversible Joule cycle, also called as reversible Joule cycle or reversed Brayton cycle for air refrigeration. This is the basic concept related to air refrigeration. So that is Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Joule cycle or reverse Brayton cycle for the air refrigeration. The Bell-Coleman or reverse Joule or reverse Brayton cycle is a modification of the reverse Carnot cycle. Okay, it is just a modification and nothing else. It was used in early refrigeration. The equipment consists of compressor, refrigerator, expander and cooler. These are the four processes in the cycle. So just you can see Bell-Coleman cycle, compressor is there already, and from compressor the refrigerant or the air, there is no refrigerant, air is being used as a refrigerant. Okay, so air is being used as a refrigerant, and that air which is used as a refrigerant, that goes to the cooler, or I should say condenser. It goes to the condenser. From condenser it goes to the expander. We are not using any expansion valve, we are using expander. Expander means that is work is being done by the air and turbine is there which is being rotated, and in that way the temperature of the air comes down, pressure and temperature of the air comes down. So we are using expander, or it is called expansion turbine. Then from the expansion turbine that goes to the brine tank. Brine tank again we are using here. Evaporator coil is there and brine solution is there. It is kept inside the tank. Coil passes through that brine solution. Brine, that is your solution of water and salt, that is being in and that is being out. So outlet temperature is quite low, and that brine solution can go to the AHU unit, air handling unit, from where that brine solution discharge its heat to the air, and that air being transmitted wherever it is required for the cooling purpose. So in that way brine solution is there. Now Bell-Coleman refrigerator cycle, that is shown on the pressure volume chart and temperature entropy chart. Pressure volume chart 1 to 2, that is the process of compression. Then 2 to 3, that is the process of cooling, condenser. Then 3 to 4 is your expansion turbine, 3 to 4 expansion turbine, and 4 to 1 again, that is your evaporator. 4 to 1 evaporator, that is also at constant pressure, and condensation is also at the constant pressure. Both are at the constant pressure. So the process 1 to 2 compression, 2 to 3 the condensation, 3 to 4 that is your expander, and 4 to 1 again evaporation, and that is inside the brine tank. Then we have got this on the TS diagram as well. 1 to 2 isentropic compression, it is very clear, it is a straight line because the entropy is constant. 2 to 3 isobaric cooling, but the cooling at the constant pressure. 3 to 4 isentropic expansion inside the expansion turbine, 3 to 4 inside the expansion turbine, and 4 to 1 isobaric heat absorption. At the constant pressure heat is being absorbed in the evaporator, in the brine tank. Okay, in that way this is the cycle which has been shown over here. One cycle is on pressure volume chart and another is on TS entropy chart, temperature entropy chart. This is your Brayton cycle which has been made very clear. 4 things are there: compressor, cooler or condenser, expansion valve, we have got the expansion valve, and then we have got the brine tank. These four things are there which contribute to the Brayton cycle. Okay, next. Processes which I shall explain what are the various processes which are taking place. Process 1 to 2, isentropic compression is taking place. You have seen already in this sketch. This process deals with the compression of the air in compressor in such a manner that entropy is conserved. Entropy remains constant. You must have seen straight line is there in the TS diagram. So entropy remains constant along the when compression takes place. Simultaneously, there is rise in pressure and temperature of the air. Temperature of the air, pressure and temperature rises, and reduction in specific volume. Volume is being reduced because compression is taking place. So when compression is taking place, volume will be reduced. Okay. So that is the process 1 to isentropic compression. Okay. Then next comes process 2-3, constant pressure cooling, that is condensation. This process is isobaric. Isobaric means constant pressure. Heat rejection process. The warm air from the compressor is cooled by the coolant like water. A specific volume of the air reduces and temperature of the air drops. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पर एयर जो है वो गैस फॉर्म में ही रहता है, but it is being cooled by external agency like water or sometimes through the air also. So the form of the gas is not changing. Refrigerant form is not changing. It remains in the form of gas. Okay, it remains in the form of gas. There is no change in the state of the refrigerant. Air remains throughout the air. Okay, only cooling is taking place, and that the air which has come from the compressor is cooled down with the help of external agency like water. We provide the water for the cooling purpose. Next is the isentropic expansion. Now this isentropic expansion, the process deals with the expansion of the air in the expander in such a manner that entropy is conserved. Again, entropy is conserved. The cooled air further cools is expanded in the expander, causing pressure reduction and drop in temperature. The specific volume increases in this process. Okay. Now expander, what happened? Again, expansion of the air taking place. Here the expansion of the air taking place, and the air which was coming from the cooler, that from the condenser, it gets expanded in the expander. It is turbine sort of thing. Expansion take place, and the pressure and temperature of the gas reduces. Temperature especially reduces, but the specific volume increases. See, in isentropic compression, that specific volume was reduced. Specific volume was reduced after the compression, but in expander, the specific volume is increased because of the expansion is taking place. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the expander and your compression. There in compression, specific volume is reduced, and in expander, that specific volume is increased. Various increase in the process. Then next process comes your isobaric expansion process, heat absorption. Isobaric means at constant pressure. Isobaric means at constant pressure, heat absorption take place. This process is constant heat absorption. Cold air from the expander is passed on to the refrigerator, where it absorbs heat from the application. The temperature of the air thus rises along with its specific volume. The air then returns to the compressor, completing the cycle. Now here what happens? Isobaric expansion that take place inside the expansion coil, where that the temperature is further cooled, and that air is passed through to the cabin of the aeroplane. In aeroplane, normally we are using Brayton cycle, cabin of the aeroplane, and it cools the people sitting over there. So that expansion of the air take place over here, and specific volume of the air is then increases. Here also the specific volume increases, and air is returned to the compressor for complete cycle. Now we will analyze the cycle. Analyze of the Bell-Coleman cycle. Heat rejection by the air in the process 2-3 is Q1. Okay, heat rejection by the air in the process 2-3 is Q1. Q1 Cp T2 minus T3. Let us go to the sketch also, then only it will be clear. Then only it will be clear. 2-3 process. Okay, 2-3 process, you see this 2-3 constant condensation process. Here heat is being rejected, and this is your isotropic isobaric heat absorption process. Two processes are there, so that has been explained over here. Q1, that is the heat rejected by the air in the process 2-3 is Q1, that is in the condenser where it is being cooled with the outside water. Heat absorbed by the air in the process 4-1 is given by Q2. Here the heat is being absorbed. Okay, in the cabin, when the air goes into the cabin, then heat is being absorbed. So work done कितना हो जाएगा? Cp T2 minus T3 minus Cp T1 minus T4. Condensation, not condensation exactly, condenser where it is being cooled by the external agency, minus the expansion where it is being where it goes to the cabin for cooling purpose. So COP will be given by COP, heat absorbed upon work done. Heat absorbed upon work done. COP. So Q2 is the heat absorbed in the evaporator or in the brine solution tank, Cp T1 minus T4 divided by work done, Cp T2 minus T3 minus Cp T1 minus T4. In that way COP can be calculated. COP can be written further also. Cp कट जाएगा सब, T1 minus T4 divided by T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. तो T4 कॉमन निकालना है, T1 upon T4 minus 1, यहाँ से T3 कॉमन निकालना, T2 upon T3 minus 1, और फिर T4 कॉमन निकालना, T1 upon T4 minus 1. Now you can see from the diagram, T2 upon T1 is equal to T3 upon T4, or T2 upon T3 can be written as T1 upon T4. T2 upon T3 can be written as T1 upon T4. So we can write T2 upon 3, T1 upon T4, and we will take it common. Next page. So that you're substituting the value, T2 upon T3 की जगह पर हम लिखेंगे T1 upon T4. ओके, सो T1 upon T4 लिख दिया हमने, तो T1 upon T4 minus 1 पूरा कॉमन निकल गया, कट गया, तो बचा क्या? T4 upon T3 minus T4. T4 upon T3 minus T4. तो COP 1 upon T4 को नीचे लाए हम, 1 upon T3 minus T4 minus 1. But T3 minus T4 is equal to P3 minus P4 gamma minus 1 upon gamma for isentropic expansion. So we can write COP is equal to 1 upon P3 upon P4 gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1, and this is your pressure ratio. So we have represented by RP gamma minus 1 upon gamma and minus 1. RP is pressure ratio, that is P2 upon P1 is equal to P3 upon P4. Sometimes compression and expansion process take place according to the law PV raised to power n is equal to constant, that is polytropic process. Okay, so in that case COP will be written as T1 minus T4 divided by n upon n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 upon gamma ब्रैकेट में T2 minus T3 या माइनस T1 minus T4. ओके, उस केस में W कंप्रेसर हमारा कितना हो जाएगा? कंप्रेशन वर्क हमारा क्या हो जाएगा? n upon n minus 1 RT2 minus RT1. PV इज इक्वल टू MRT होता है, MRT PV, तो PV की जगह पर हम RT लिख सकते हैं, तो RT2 upon RT1. उस तरह से एक्सपेंशन वर्क n upon n minus 1 RT2 माइनस RT3 माइनस RT1, R सब कट जाएगा, तो हमारे पास जो बचेगा n/n-1 T2 माइनस T1, और एक्सपेंशन वर्क में n/n-1 T3 माइनस T1। तो वही चीज़ यहाँ पर किया गया है। आप देखें यहाँ पर ध्यान से, COP इज इक्वल टू T1/T4 डिवाइडेड बाई n/n-1 इंटू गामा-1 गामा, ब्रैकेट में T2 माइनस T3 माइनस T1 माइनस T4। ओके, COP जो होगा वो आपका हो जाएगा हीट एब्जॉर्ब डिवाइडेड बाई वर्क डन, हीट एब्जॉर्ब डिवाइडेड बाई वर्क डन। सो वी गेट द फाइनल COP फॉर जनरल isentropic process, then it is only COP is equal to 1/RP, R minus 1/R, RP is your pressure ratio, and in case of polytropic process, COP is T1 minus T4 divided by n/n-1, gamma-1 gamma, T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4, that is for the polytropic process. So in that way, both the processes have been explained, polytropic process and isentropic process. Okay. Now, what is open and closed refrigeration system? Air refrigeration में हमारे आता है open और closed refrigeration system क्या होता है? That we must know it. In open air refrigeration cycle, the refrigerant air is directly circulated to the space or application to be cooled the sorry. So open and closed air refrigeration system. In open air refrigeration cycle, the refrigerant, that is air, is directly circulated to the space of application to be cooled and then return to the compressor. डायरेक्टली एयर को हम केबिन में भेज देते हैं, खुला उसको, जो हमारा ठंडा एयर आ रहा है एवापोरेटर से, डायरेक्टली उसको हम केबिन में भेज देते हैं और फिर केबिन से ही एयर को वापस लेते हैं। Thus air is in direct contact with the application. Air is at atmospheric pressure throughout the system. Thus high volume are required. इस अगर एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पे एयर रहेगा, कंप्रेस नहीं किया जाएगा, तो वॉल्यूम तो ज़्यादा लगेगा ही, एयर तो वॉल्यूम ज़्यादा खर्च होगा ही, ठीक है ना। तो दैट्स वाई जो आपका ओपन सिस्टम होता है उसमें एयर का वॉल्यूम बहुत ज़्यादा लगता है, ठीक है। By circulating in the volume received, this increases the capacity requirement of the expander and compressor. Moisture from the application is removed by circulating air and it forms frost. अगर ये एयर में मॉइस्चर आ जाएगा तो क्या होगा, अंदर जाकर के फ्रॉस्टिंग क्रिएट कर देगा। In such situation, a dryer should be used. इसके लिए हमें एक ड्रायर लगाना पड़ेगा, जिसमें सिल्का जेल या कोई और चीज़ हम रख सकते हैं। द कोफिशिएंट ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ साइकिल इज पुअर। इसका कोफिशिएंट ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस पुअर होता है ओपन सिस्टम। पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ एयर कंटेमिनेशन इज आल्सो हायर, एयर गंदा भी हो सकता है, ठीक है। तो ओपन एयर रेफ्रिजरेशन सिस्टम इज नॉट एडवाइजेबल। वाई? बिकॉज द एयर विच कम्स इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद द पीपल गेट कंटेमिनेटेड ऑल्सो, and moreover that the pressure maintained is always atmospheric pressure, so high volume of air will be required for the compression and expander. Now what about the closed system? Let us see about the closed system, what is there. This was the describe about the open system, the problem in the open system. What is the problem in the open system? That has been described in this para, and that was the frosting problem, and higher volume of the air is required for the expansion. In closed air refrigeration system, also called dense air refrigeration system, air is supplied through the pipe and equipment such that there is no contact directly with the application. There is no direct contact with the applicant. Air is supplied through the pipe and there is no direct contact with the applicant. Air absorbs heat from the refrigerant such as brine and then cooled. Brine is then circulated to the application. Then air is remained enclosed and hence the name dense or closed cycle has been given. What is there? That the air which is enclosed throughout the system. It remains in the pipe. It remains closed in the system, and in that way, the brine circulated in there. The air is remain enclosed, and hence the name dense is or closed cycle. Although air does not come in contact with the application, the dense cycle has a higher COP because it is not directly coming in contact with the applicant, so it has got the higher COP. Then the open cycle volume of the air handled by the compressor and expander are small. Open cycle compressor and expander are small due to the higher suction pressure as compared to open cycle, closed cycle. Volume of the air handled by the compressor and expander are small due to higher suction pressure. Then open cycle, closed cycle, In closed cycle, volume of the air handled by the compressor and expander are small because compression takes place throughout the pipeline, throughout the system, and higher suction pressure as compared to open cycle. Also, operating pressure ratio is reduced. Contamination of air is avoided by this method. Contamination is also being removed. So, in all the process, you must have seen that closed cycle process is preferred because it is limited inside the pipe. Air is only limited, it has to travel inside the pipe. There is no opening at all for the air. While in open cycle, that air goes to the cabin at atmospheric pressure, and it is being utilized. Lot of dirt and odor, everything comes into that. So it is not preferred, and COP of that cycle is also low than the closed cycle. In closed cycle, air always travel throughout inside the pipe, and there is no question of any contamination. Okay, so closed cycle, and COP is also more than the open cycle. Next, now one more thing very important. What is refrigerating effect? Some students get confused. What is refrigerating effect? Okay, let me see about that. It is defined as the amount of cooling produced by a system. In short, it is the amount of heat removed from application by the refrigerant. This unit is kilojoule. Removal of heat from the system produces the cooling effect, and the unit is given by kilojoule. Now, what is the unit of refrigeration? The standard unit of refrigeration is ton. 1 ton. It is defined as 1 ton of refrigeration is equivalent to the rate of heat transfer needed to produce 1 ton of ice at 0 degree centigrade from 0 degree water in 24 hours. See the definition. Definition says that what is the unit of refrigeration? That is the heat which is being transferred from 1 ton of water at 0 degree to 1 ton of ice in 24 hours. It is called 1 TR. The standard symbol of representation of unit is TR. So TR is equal to 1000 into latent heat 335 kilojoule in 24 hours. Then you just 24 hours into 60, you will get 232.6 kilojoule per minute, and which is taken approximately as 210. This is approximately taken as 210 kilojoule per minute or 3.5 kilowatt. So 1 TR is equal to 210 kilojoule per minute or 3.5 kilowatt. That should be very clear. Then coefficient of performance. What is coefficient of performance? It is defined as the ratio of the refrigerating effect. It is defined as the ratio of the refrigerating effect to the work input requirement to achieve that refrigerating effect. That is COP is equal to Q upon W. If we express the refrigerating capacity TR in tons of refrigeration and power in kilowatt, we get COP is equal to 3.5 per ton, 3.5 per TR. So coefficient of performance, that is cooling effect upon compressor work. Coefficient of performance, cooling effect upon compressor work, and power, that is the compressor work divided by 60, that gives you the power in kilowatt. So these two things are very important, coefficient of performance and power. Now next is your Bell-Coleman cycle. Already I have explained earlier, already mentioned in question. Advantage and disadvantage of air refrigeration system. What is the advantage and what is the disadvantage? That is also very important for air refrigeration. Air refrigeration, what is the advantage? First, the air used as refrigerant is cheap and easily available. Of course, air is available everywhere. Wherever you go, air is always available. So it is very cheap also, and air is easily available. It is not that you have to harness the air from some other source. It is easily available everywhere. So when it is easily available, so it is very cheap also. So air is cheap and easily available. जो हमारा रेफ्रिजरेंट है, चूँकि एयर जो होता है रेफ्रिजरेंट का यूज़ कर रहे हैं हम, तो वो चीप और इजली अवेलेबल है. देयर इज़ नो डेंजर ऑफ फायर टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट ड्यू टू द लीकेज ऑफ द एयर. एयर लीक करेगा तो कोई भी आग लगने का डर नहीं रहेगा आपको, कहीं आग नहीं लगेगा एयर से, क्योंकि एयर कंटेन्स नाइट्रोजन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन ऑफ कोर्स इज देयर, बट द अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन इज मोर देन द हाइड्रोजन and oxygen. So there is no fear about the fire. There is no fear about the hazard of the fire. Fire cannot take place. And toxic is also, air is not toxic. Ammonia gas, you see, it is very toxic. If leakage of ammonia take place, then toxicity increases, very highly toxic, and one cannot stand over there in ammonia. But air, it is not toxic at all. It is not toxic. There is no bad smell with this. Smell may be bad, but toxicity is not there. It will not damage anybody. And fire hazard is also not there. Then weight to ton of refrigeration is less compared to other system. Weight of the system to tonnage for the refrigeration is lower than compared to other system. There are so many systems of the refrigeration. Vapor compression cycle is there. Vapor absorption cycle is there. Then steam jet evaporation, steam jet refrigeration is also there. So what he says, the meaning that weight of the system, that is the unit which is being used for the refrigeration work, that is the weight to ton of refrigeration is less compared to the other system. Weight in tons of refrigeration is less to other compared system. मतलब सिस्टम का जो वेट है वो पर टन रेफ्रिजरेशन के हिसाब से एयर रेफ्रिजरेशन में वेट काफ़ी कम होता है दैन योर वेपर कंप्रेशन साइकिल और वेपर एब्जॉर्प्शन साइकिल. ओके, सो दीज आर द एडवांटेज फॉर द एयर रेफ्रिजरेशन साइकिल. नाउ बिसाइड्स दैट वी हैव गॉट डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑल्सो. The quantity of refrigerant used per ton of refrigeration is high as compared to other system. Less heat carrying capacity. So the air quantity which is being handled, its quantity is very high. In volume it is very high as compared to other vapor compression cycle or vapor absorption cycle. That's why lot of air is required for the air refrigeration system. But the main and other thing, less heat carrying capacity. Air has got very less heat carrying capacity. Water has got very high heat carrying capacity. Water, okay, but air has got very less heat carrying capacity. Then COP of the system is very low. Therefore running cost is high. Air refrigeration system का COP जो होता है बहुत कम होता है, इसलिए, और रनिंग कॉस्ट इसका इसलिए बहुत ज़्यादा आता है. ठीक है, COP बहुत कम होता है, 0.5, 0.6 और 0.7 लाइक दैट. जबकि वेपर कंप्रेशन साइकिल में इट इज़ 3 point something, 4 point something. वेपर एब्जॉर्प्शन साइकिल ऑल्सो इट हैज गॉट वेरी हाई COP, 3, 4, around 3 and 4. But in air refrigeration system, that COP is very less. Then last one, the danger of frosting at the expander valve is more as the air contains moisture content. In spite of closed cycle, The danger of formation of frosting is always there, because in air that contains about 10%, 10 kilopascal part, 10 kilopascal part is your water moisture. So that is possible that it may frost, then it will jam the whole system. It will jam the whole system. That's all. Thank you.